The mainstream media has been relentless in its pursuit to shape public opinion on the topic of global warming, often using sensationalized headlines and doomsday predictions to capture our attention. But why is this the case? What drives the media's apparent zeal to control the narrative on this issue? To understand the motivations behind the mainstream media's behavior, it is essential to examine the complex web of interests and agendas that shape their reporting. One possible explanation is that the media is merely a pawn in a larger game controlled by powerful elites who seek to manipulate public opinion to further their own interests. The global warming narrative has become a convenient tool for these individuals to push their agendas, whether it be to promote a particular ideology, consolidate power, or reap financial rewards. By exaggerating the threats posed by climate change, the media creates a sense of urgency and panic, which can be leveraged to justify drastic policy changes, increase government control, and the allocation of vast sums of money to combat the perceived problem. Moreover, the mainstream media's focus on global warming also serves to distract the public from more pressing issues that might be detrimental to the interests of those in power. By dominating the news cycle with apocalyptic warnings of rising sea levels, devastating natural disasters, and impending environmental catastrophes, the media effectively diverts attention away from topics such as government corruption, economic inequality, and social injustice. This deliberate diversion of attention enables the powerful to maintain their grip on society unchallenged and unchecked. Another factor driving the media's global warming propaganda is the financial incentives that come with promoting the narrative. The renewable energy industry, for example, has become a lucrative market, with governments and corporations investing billions of dollars in wind farms, solar panels, and other eco-friendly technologies. The media, eager to capitalize on this trend, has become a willing participant in promoting the idea that switching to renewable energy is the only way to save the planet. This not only generates revenue through advertising and sponsorships, but also creates a sense of moral urgency, making it more difficult for dissenting voices to question the wisdom of such investments. The role of government in shaping the media's global warming narrative should also not be overlooked. Many governments have invested heavily in promoting the idea of anthropogenic climate change, often using taxpayer money to fund research, propaganda campaigns, and policy initiatives aimed at reducing carbon emissions. The media, reliant on government funding, advertising revenue, and access to official sources, is often forced to toe the line, repeating the official narrative and suppressing dissenting voices. This has resulted in a form of self-censorship, where journalists and scientists who dared to question the consensus are ostracized, intimidated, or silenced. The impact of the mainstream media's global warming propaganda on public opinion has been significant, with many people now accepting the idea that human activity is the primary cause of climate change. However, this has also led to a form of mass hysteria, with some individuals and groups advocating for drastic measures to combat the perceived problem, such as abandoning fossil fuels, imposing strict carbon taxes, and implementing draconian lifestyle restrictions. The media's relentless drumbeat of doom has created a culture of fear, where anyone who questions the consensus is vilified, and dissenting voices are marginalized. In conclusion, the mainstream media's attempts to control us with global warming propaganda are driven by a complex interplay of interests, agendas, and financial incentives. By examining the motivations behind the media's behavior, it becomes clear that the global warming narrative is not just a scientific issue, but a political and economic one as well. As we navigate this complex landscape, it is essential to maintain a critical perspective, questioning the assumptions and assertions made by the media, and seeking out alternative sources of information to form a more nuanced understanding of the issue. Only by doing so can we hope to make informed decisions, free from the influence of propaganda and manipulation.